we go on to the next question. Why is Black love important?
I don't think you could exist. Well, let me say this. I can't exist without it.
Mm,
I know that I can't it doesn't feel the same not having my relationships with my girlfriends or my friends.
mm,
It's not the same without showing my daughter the way that we, how unique and how
right.
different how unique our relationship is compared to others. It's just like I don't think I could even exist without having some sort of Black love in my life. I know that that is
Mhm.
something also that I want to share with her. Just seeing like, girl, it is nothing like getting together with your girls
Oh
and
yeah.
having, just to be, and not even really saying much, but just knowing each other's looks. Like, I know sometimes I can, even with these masks, I could shoot up these eyes and my girl already know what it is. And I don't think anybody else could do that. No
Yeah.
other person except for my
Right.
girlfriend could understand, except for these black relationships we have. I don't think anybody else could do that the way that we can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I don't even think I could exist without it,
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's, again, balance. You can't have lightness without the dark. And so it's really
Right.
important to talk about the fact that this world is a cold place,
Mm-hmm.
founded by people who do not look like us, on the
Mhm.
backs of people who look like us, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
they don't have an understanding of who we are as a people. The fact that, because as you were talking, Aisha, I was thinking, you ever get with your girls and you can say girl, just the one word,
Yeah.
in
Mhm.
several different tones, and they get girl,
Right.
girl, girl. You know what I mean? You don't have that outside of your people. And
Right.
so it's so important that when you go out into that world and they don't understand who you are, they don't understand why they can't touch your hair, why they can't be in your space, why you're not moving off the sidewalk. And then
Mm.
you come back home to somebody who gets that, to somebody who understands that holding your space in this world is important.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. I don't
I
know if
should
Jessica
treat
froze.
him through the way I
Yeah.
treat my husband,
Oh, there we
through the
go.
way my husband treats me. That's a big
Mm-hmm.
deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
Mhm.
big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yes, thank you, Jessica. Yes, anybody else? Why is Black love important?
I'd like to say something concerning that. Um, One thought came to mind when I allowed my oldest to go to a basketball game with one of her friends from church, and he's a male. And so Jasmine said, "You know what, Mama?" I said, "What?" She said, "Everywhere I went, there was people surrounded around me." And I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Well, because I was with KJ, and KJ was with his friends, and because I was with KJ, wherever I went, they surrounded me. They made sure that I wasn't left any place at that game by myself." And
Mm.
I said, "Oh, okay, well, that's cool." I said, "How did that make you feel? Did you feel some type of way because you were the only female?" And she said, "No, ma'am. I just knew that they weren't gonna let anything happen to me." And
Right.
so the word security came to me. And
Oh
Mhm.
even
yeah.
while we're talking about it, it's important because we're not just gonna leave someone out there hanging by themselves. But
Mm-hmm.
when I see someone and they're of my ethnicity, then I feel compelled to make sure that they're okay. I feel
Right.
compelled to be that sense of security. I'm compelled to be that protection that they may need, or that love that they may need, or that joy
Mm-hmm.
or that peace that they may need, not just
Mm-hmm.
because they're my same color, but I feel as if I will be more receptive to them because we are. And so
Mhm.
for me, it would also be security. We can find security in like-minded
Mm-hmm.
people of
Mhm.
color. You may be a little bit more hesitant when it comes to a different race, but then when it comes to your same race, you feel a little bit, even if you don't know them, you feel a sense of, okay, this is okay for me to say
Yeah.
what I want to say, or it's okay for me to
Mhm.
go here. I don't have fear or any doubt that's connected to me while I'm here.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Yeah.
That is.
That
You
reminds
want to feel that we need that. We need that confirmation again without verbally saying so. You need to be able to walk in and know that if somebody looks like you, that they got my back, that we're not going to automatically be at odds with each other, but I want you to feel safe with me as I feel with you. So I really like that. I'm glad she had such a great experience, because not a lot of people have that, and we see that in other cultures where they may tear down each other, but when they get in front of people, they may hold each other up. And some instances, we've lost that compassion and that kind of unspoken commitment to each other. But I still believe that it still exists, and that we should still make it a priority amongst us. So I agree completely.
Rakia, let's talk about that. What you just said,
Mm-hmm.
how in other cultures, they may do this behind closed doors, but when they get out in public, it's a unified front.
Mm-hmm.
Why? And you said we may not see that all the time in our culture amongst us, right?
Mm-hmm.
What happened? Why we don't see that as
I
what?
I truly believe that we have placed so much emphasis on influencers and like television shows. Now I am guilty. I love the mindless TV. Everybody needs a balance of a little ratchetness, and if you don't, I don't hold nothing against you. But we kind of enjoy that kind of bitterness that is exposed on television, which you have to know that that's not always real life, but some people don't know that that's not real life.
Absolutely.
We are in a day and age where everything that we see, we try to mimic, and we really try to live that life. And then when it doesn't work for you, you feel that they are just against me because it doesn't look like what I see here. And then you create these conflicts that really don't even exist. There's been times when you walk into a room and you see one or two people that you expect to be your homegirl, and then you realize that they don't want no parts of you. And you don't know why. You don't know
Right.
why. You're like, okay, I expected to have this camaraderie with you, because me and you look alike. I mean, we could practically be cousins, and then you don't even want to talk to me.
Mhm.
And I really feel as if we have accepted other people's boundaries as ours, and we don't know how
Mhm.
to dismantle that and say
Okay.
that ain't even my life. I'm not even like that. Like, I really am a nice person. I'm not this mean girl that looks like fun, that is on TV, that gets paid to be a personality. I'm not a
Mhm.
personality. I'm just me. So, it creates division when we accept other people's lives and other people's problems. And, we are more comfortable with living in a space of jealousy and competition than we are opposed to learning from each other, opposed to, walking in and saying, hey, whatever you got going on, I'm here. I want to hear your point of view so that I can lift you up appropriately. So
Yeah.
it's especially in the workplace, you see that a lot. You'll be talking to your colleagues and that don't necessarily look like you, and they'll give you all the business. You go to a meeting and they act like they don't even know you. They with the people they just gave you all the business about, and you're sitting there going, okay, I don't know. I think I was supposed to not, we were not supposed to like them or whatever have you.
Mhm.
So we've got to stop that. Stop trying to live lives that we know nothing about.
Yeah, I got a good read for everyone. I don't know if
Mm-hmm.
anyone's heard of Dr. Rita Walker's Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health. And I think I heard some of you are in the mental health field. So in the book, she talks about something called the alien self disorder.
Mm-hmm.
This is a theory by Naeem Akbar. And basically what it is especially in the Black community, we have adopted a Eurocentric viewpoint because they are the majority, right? In Africa, we work together in tribes. It's communal. When they say it takes a village, it for real takes a village. One woman has a baby, the other elder women come and take care of her. They take care of the baby. They cook. They make sure that the home is taken care of. And then as you move further west over to the Americas, you have this idea of rugged individualism, right? And so if you start to look on social media, you'll see a lot of our kids subscribe to this rugged individualism. I got to get it out the mud. I got to come up from the bottom. I got to do, but you don't have to do that by yourself.
Right.
And as an entrepreneur, my husband's an entrepreneur, we kind of run into that sometimes when we're like reaching out to others and saying, hey, I got this good idea, we can collaborate. And they're like, nah, and it might not fit your brand, and that's cool. But you can say, you know what, sis, I got somebody else for you though. And that's something that we're starting to get away from. So the reason you're seeing other people who like, they gonna have these backdoor conversations and it's not gonna come to the light. But then you see a lot of, unfortunately, Black people will have the backdoor conversation and we'll talk about it in the light.
Yeah.
You got to be able to fix your sister's crown without telling everybody else it was crooked.
That's
you know
right.
what I mean? If ever, Ashley, if you see something, because I heard you like, I see your stuff, sis. If you see something, you like, Jess, that ain't you, hit me up.
That's
I'm cool. But don't write it in my comments.
Make a post about it. Right.
Yeah, so Black love really is having enough care to say, hey, baby girl, you know, when I was growing up, the next door neighbor could say, I know your mama would not want you, come in here. Let me call your mama. But she didn't yell at me and berate me in the streets.
That's right.
You know? So we got to get away from this rugged individualism because that's not ours. That's not our thing. We are community based, you know?
Jessica, is that rugged individualism? Is that equivalent to we minding our business? You know, we have become a place of like, oh no, I'm minding my business. I'm not I'm not stepping into nothing. I'm minding my business. Is that similar?
Ashley, I ain't trying to go somewhere we ain't going, but that's the all lives matter response. Rugged individual is all lives matter, right? If a house in your neighborhood is burning down,
come on.
You ain't gonna start watering your house. You're not gonna stop saying, well, my house ain't on fire, but I'm gonna just take care of this just in case.
Right.
You're gonna call somebody to take care of that house. So when you think rugged individualism, it is very much minding my business. I see my brother is down, but I don't say nothing. I see my sister's having a hard time, but you know, I'm not. I see, you know, my friend who's married is going out in the streets doing things that's not representative of his or her marriage, and I don't correct them because that's not my business. That's not. But it is your business, because if another Black marriage is headed in the wrong direction, you know.
But you know, that's what they say. You know they say that, but they don't mean that, Jessica. You know they don't mean that. Now you might mean it, and I might mean that. Right. But if I said that to Tyra, girl, if you don't mind your business, I know what I'm doing. But I think
that's what's so smooth about Black people, because we got a way of saying, like, let me go ahead and tell you what I think, but I'm gonna also tell you that my business. Tyra, girl, look, if that was me, X, Y, and Z. But hey, you do you. You know what I mean? And that's
right.
Because I don't, this first time I'm seeing Tyra's face as far as I know, but I love her enough to say, sis, you come on now, we can do better than that. Right. And let me know how I can help you. And then
that's right.
You know?
Right. Look, I like our grandmamas used to say, now ain't that much love.
Okay.
And Jessica, see, if it's down to Jessica, to what she was saying, it's still very static, y'all.
No.
Some static.
Go ahead.
Not bad.
Just go ahead and keep talking.
Yeah.
So Jessica, what you're saying is, if a neighbor's house, if a neighbor's house is burning down, and I won't start watering my house, right? I will, call somebody to help, right? And that is so true, because if a neighbor's house is burning down, if I'm 2 houses down to it, I might catch on. My house might catch on fire too. So let me help you, so I can help everybody else, right? So we can all get help. But I like that analogy that she used for that.
That's what makes sense. There's a really good poem, and I think it's called "When They Came for Me," and it taught When They Came for Them. And it talks about basically like the Holocaust. Like when they came for the Jews, I said nothing. When they came for this people, I said nothing. When they came for me, there was no one to speak out.
Oh wow.
Right. And so that's why we have to love each other enough to say, when they come for you, I'm gonna speak out.
Right.
Because when they come for me, I want you to be able to speak for me as well.
Right. Because
That's
we
just
have
the way
to
I
own
see it.
that the consequences doesn't change just because it's you. You know, and just going piggybacking off of your same analogy, just the other night, our neighbors came and told us that, there was someone, two guys trying to testing people doors, their car doors,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't come into their yard, but they came over in our yard, in our neighbor's yard. And just to think that, even that we have a ring and we have all this stuff, but people find other ways to do whatever they want to do. But just piggybacking off of your analogy, they didn't have to say anything to us.
Right.
They could have been, because I stay looking out my window. I'm looking out the window right now. But but if we took that, and a lot of people do, unfortunately, they say, okay, I saw how they did her, I saw what they did, that was real underhanded. We like to have these conversations as if this could not be our same situation tomorrow. And it very well is your day today, but it definitely could be my day tomorrow. So you just never know, and you shouldn't lose an opportunity to help someone, to give that loving correction, because everything you do ain't right. How
Right.
you say things, even though it may be coming from a loving place, all of your correction and all of your ideas aren't the right way to go. It doesn't, it's not 100% correct. So being able to tell somebody, actually, I ain't like how you said that to me the other day. You know what I'm saying? Even though she may have been giving me some kind of constructive criticism, but if we homegirls like that, even if she's giving me criticism, I should be able to express my feelings as well, so that we can come up with a better way to help me, because that was her intention. Sometimes you
Right.
have to listen for the intention, and not really how it is given to you, because there's still some correction in that as well. But we definitely have to take ownership of it and say, I want to tell you this, because if it happened to me, I want you to tell me too. I want to always be in a place where I can receive criticism. I can receive, being able to level up, to do things better. Because we can all learn from each other.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, do I still sound staticky?
No.
No.
Okay. But yes, everything. Like you said, Ricky, it may not be you today,
Uh-huh.
but it could be you tomorrow. And
Mm-hmm.
so I like that because it does affect us all. And I think
Yeah.
me and Aisha, we were having kind of the same conversation when we were talking about like Jessica said, I don't want to go on another tangent, but I'm just gonna say the name. We don't have to get it started. Me and Aisha was talking about Bill Cosby. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And so we were just talking about what happens to the idea of saying, well, that's not my business, it's
Mm-hmm.
not me. Oh well, I didn't like her anyway, right? I didn't like
Mm-hmm.
her anyway. So what? But if it could happen to her, right,
Mm-hmm.
it could happen to you, right? If it could happen to
Right.
them, it could happen to you. So
Right.
that's where it kind of gets scary, where it kind of where you're entering you're crossing a scary line to say, oh well, I didn't like that group of people anyway. I didn't like that person anyway. Well,
Mm-hmm.
if it could happen to that group of people or that person, it
Yeah.
could definitely happen to you, right? And especially as
Mm-hmm.
we know, as Black women, being the least paid, what they say, the least protected, all those things, right? So look at
Yet
Jessica's
the
face.
most educated in this country. Let
But
me just
yet,
point that
the
out. But go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
right, but yet the
Mm-hmm.
most what we hold. I mean, like, it's such a high percentage of degrees. Like,
Yeah.
it's such a high. It's a crazy percentage of how high in comparison to other groups. In comparison to
Right.
other groups of our education, like you said, the
Mm-hmm.
most educated. But we're the last and we're the least and all that stuff. So if it could happen to them, right, then it can certainly
Mm-hmm.
happen. right to us.
Absolutely.
And so just like the same with going back to what you're saying, Rakia, it may not be you today, but it can be you next week, next year, tomorrow, tomorrow. Thank you, ladies. Oh, I'm loving this. Okay.
I couldn't do that at my last job because my last job was a production-based job. So I couldn't step away because then my numbers would